And new this morning, one person was injured and two people are now without a place to stay after an overnight fire on Berard Circle. Crews responding to 25 Berard Circle last night for reports of a working fire. Springfield Fire and Emergency Services sharing these images on social media where you can see a portion of that house totally destroyed by the flames. One person was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Red Cross is currently assisting those two that have been displaced. The cause of the fire is under investigation by the Springfield Arson and Bomb Squad.